Alright, so welcome back. Hoping you guys having a fabulous day here today. As you all know, the current phase is going on and all that's happening, but people are impatient. They're like, you know what, Go-Go? Listen, I got this banner, alright? I just died. I just went all in. I have no gems. What do I do? This is a very bad position I'm in. I need help. What do I do? What's next? Is there anything that I'm going to lose out on? What's the plan on that one? And basically, I have an answer for you in some sort of format. I'm going to tell you what's probably coming next and what we already know is coming next. Basically, we know how 2023 is going to be structured because that Dev Notes video, it gave us a nice idea that, they're going to try and double down on their Ragnarok schedule and get those chapters out accordingly. We also know that this year, there's a lot of kind of holiday events left before we approach, middle points. So there is things that have to happen. And with that being said, you have an idea of what you should know of what's next. You see what I did there? Yes. Let's jump into it. Let me talk about it. I'll share with you if you do care for it. Again, the Fez is going on, which this is the banner to focus on. Literally, whatever's next doesn't really entice you. This is it. This is what you have. So remember that when you see the next two banners, and when they do release, whenever that happens, remember that this one will always be the better banner, just because it has so many good units. It has a great freaking festival. It has great freaking festivals on the side. Just remember that on the side, so that's there. Yeah. Let's jump into it, though. So to jump into it with a handy-dandy guide over here of the basic breakdown of how the banners worked. Again, if we go over the first year, if we want to do that first, before we go over Trillion Meliodas year, they basically, after now, you did the entire year of 2022. Now, if you compare it to the year before that, right, they've been the same. So we have an idea that this is how they're going to structure their updates and stuff like that. So in the future, whenever this happens, just keep it in mind that, we can use this as a kind of set in stone thing because it was very close and it was very much on par. Escanor, into Meli, all of that. The seasonal banners in between were also there. Arthur got, this year we got Griamore, same way. It was very similar, right? So back then, how they did it was Nanashi into Valentia and Easton. So a regular story unit into a catastrophe banner. How they did it following this is actually Sariel, a story unit, into Scotty Nalate, a Ragnarok unit. So basically this year, 1000%, January 27th, okay? This year's date will be different. This year it'll be January 26th. You will 1 billion% be getting Ragnarok. I think that is now solidified. They literally said that they want to double down their schedule, and it's been missing for so long. There's no collab that can drop right after two festivals. So basically, it can be a festival. It's Ragnarok. So the one thing you can expect, it also could be an OC rather. That's there too. They want to introduce some new thing with the OC story, and they want to really go and hype that up. So at some point, you can also start seeing OC characters. For example, January 13th could be an OC. Could be some new Camilla, some new something. Basically, we have Disaster Shin. We know that's coming really soon. So keep that in mind that he is around the corner too. They haven't done really a catastrophe story in a while. Not the one that we just got for Halloween. It's seasonal, but there is that. So Disaster Shin, right? That has to happen at some point. But again, Freya and all the other Ragnarok characters also have to happen. So January is that weird point where it's basically just kind of skip banners due to the fact that the end of year and 3 year destroyed you. It did, or 3.5 year, right? So just keep that in mind. But overall, January 13th, we can see some sort of seasonal Ragnarok. Maybe if you want to do seasonal or some different type of Ragnarok unit. They could do the entire idea of a new story unit. They could do anything this year. And again, if you look at it, it's more leaning on a story unit. It's how they did it, like Nanashi and this just randomly. It could be, again, they have to start doing I don't know how they're going to handle Goddess moving forward after Mael. There's not many units they can go and pull from. So they're going to do the third form of Sariel and do the one for Tarmio. Is that how they're going to do it? That's also what we have to see in the future. But they could do that this year or next year or some point during this year. Do the third form for Sariel just to have all three versions out there. Because again, Goddess team is going to be limited when they start releasing. There's not much left, right? At a point, there's not many Goddesses left. So we'll see how that works. But that is there to mention. Again, January 27th, you'll see Ragnarok, most likely. Or if they want to do an OC, I'm going to lean on it being Ragnarok. We've been literally dried out on Ragnarok. And they have to do a new demonic beast. They have to do all those upgrades that have been leaked and stuff like that for a lot of the content. Again, we have those holy relic material things that's been just sitting there for how long. So they're going to most likely start using those things. But beyond that, that February is going to pull up to be Valentine's unit. They milk it every year, and it's going to be some sort of waifu that everyone's going to need to summon for because they're done miserable. Last year was Melascula. This year, you can see a lot of units. Maybe they do a Valentine's Freya, imagine. I'm just kidding. Can't happen, but Freya, a Valentine's Magelda, Valentine's something. They could do so much with this. There's a lot of potential around it, but they could just go and walk away with any sort of unit. Doesn't have to be that. It could be an OC, it can be a Sin or something like that. But yeah, that is there around then. And then obviously February is a festival. So that's as far as I'll go with it, because March can always turn out to be something else. April just always goes to crap. But the months that are set in stone, the ones that you might want to save for, or save, use your time wisely to save, is during January and February. Again, we'll see how the end of January holds up to be, because it could be a game-defining unit for the fact that it's a Demonic Beast unit, or it could be like, oh, this is a really great unit like Freyr. If you don't have Freyr right now, you're definitely suffering in some content, being, the wolves and all of that. So remember that skipping January's banner is also something that could be detrimental and could be a screw-up in the thing. Again, we recently had Freya's animation upgrade, right? So if I have that video, I'll try and show it to you on here. But that was also something that went down recently, so that is there. They also went and, I think, there was a leak a while ago, okay, if you don't know about that, but it's another unit that potentially is for RAGNAROK. Again, I don't know when that's happening, but it is saying that it's a gacha unit. They've been working a lot on RAGNAROK and just putting it in the files, but they haven't actually released it. So there's a lot that is still waiting for RAGNAROK. There's a few story elements, a few things that were leaked that were old, but again, I didn't share those with you. I think I talked about it here and there and just never actually shown the information on it. But those are things that are going on. So RAGNAROK is the main thing to look forward to next. And then a Fez in February. You have time for everything though, so like for everyone asking me and spamming me, am I going to be screwed? I would say just focus on this banner. Even if you are screwed for Freya, it is what it is. Let waifu go and summon eternally for meta plus seasonal, I guess. I have no other answer. But if you were to save and people are saying like, oh, if I save now, will I make it? It's a 600 banner. If you save now, you'll make it. So same way that you'll make it for, again, it's 2 weeks. We're 4 weeks away, right? And then on top of that, you're 2 weeks with the banner. You'll have plenty of time. But still, I would say take a look into this banner. Make sure to focus and fully put your gems in and just make sure you know what's happening. Again, if you always want to wait, it's always welcome. And it's always a good idea. But you don't have to like say, oh, Freya might be game changing, game broken. You have a really good banner here and a really good thing here that you won't get again for another year or ever. Maybe next year they ruin the vote again because they know how to screw it up. Then you never get this again. So just both are kind of factual points. But yeah. That is currently where it stands. We'll see what happens with this entire month. But again, if everyone's asking, I got these comments too asking for collabs. Collabs aren't going to happen for a long time too. The earliest you can see a collab is March, which I still doubt. Maybe April. Around April into May, you'll see a collab. And I think you can actually. So May is a Fez, okay? February and May is a Fez. March and April is the only time for a collab. And I don't think a collab's going to happen around then. It could, actually. I'll say April then. But yeah, we have time, so don't be asking for collabs. You have plenty of time. And right now, I want to save gems. So before we get collabs, let me save some gems. All right. So calm down with the collabs. And calm down with the what's next, bro. What's gonna happen? Am I screwed? You'll be perfectly fine. Just again, use your time wisely on this banner. Spend whatever you want to spend. And just take care of this. Because again, we're not gonna get a banner like this ever again. Literally, this banner is literally it's beautiful. That's what it is. That's the word I can use to describe it perfectly. It's beautiful. That's all it is. So enjoy with it before you screw it up, and then later on focus on those units. You have time to save for them. Again, yes, I'm going to say it. Freya can be broken, or whoever it is can be game changing, game defining, whatever. But remember, you have 27 good units here. You have one good unit there. Only time to get guaranteed. It's always the same point, but you'll see then. I would say burn that bridge later, or again, just wait if you want to. Up to you. That's fully it. But yeah, catch you in the next one. Have a stay safe. That's been for me. Peace out and enjoy, and that's been it. Yeah.